What's good? This is your boy Derek Branch here of SportsView360.com covering the New Orleans Saints. And today we're diving into a hot topic coming out of week one. Spencer Rattler and the way he was used in the Saints' 2013 loss to the Arizona Cardinals yesterday. An article currently on whothatdish.com asked the question, we all need to think about is Spencer Rattler being set up to fail by Kellen Moore? Let's break it all down first. All right. First off, let's give some context here. This was Kellen Moore's debut as a head coach of the New Orleans Saints. The Saints were in it until the final drive. They really were. But ultimately, they couldn't quite finish the job. Now, nobody expected this to be a flawless start, though. New coach, young quarterback, still finding their identity in week one. But what raised eyebrows wasn't just the loss, though. That wasn't just the loss. It wasn't just the loss. It was the way Spencer Rattler was asked to shoulder the load. By the time the clock hit zero, Rattler had dropped back 46 times yesterday. That's nearly 50 pass attempts for a second-year quarterback who is, a guy that's still finding his footing in the National Football League right now. He completed 27 of those passes for 214 yards. No touchdown passes, no interceptions. So that's a positive, right? Respectable numbers, but the volume of attempts is what people are talking about. So why the high passing volume? Why so much yards? Right? Kellen Moore in the presser yesterday. Kellen Moore explained after the game that the run game wasn't efficient enough on early downs, and that's why they leaned so heavily on Rattler yesterday. On paper, it sounds fair, right? But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about that, man. The Saints run the game, it didn't collapse. Alvin Kamara Alvin Kamara scored the team's only touchdown. That's not dominance, but it's balance. So the question comes, the question is this though. Did Moore lean too much on the pass when he could have kept Arizona guessing with the run? Because when you have Rattler at quarterback, a guy that's still trying to prove that he belongs, you ask him to throw 46 times. Feels like a recipe for trouble. It could have been a lot worse. And even though he avoided turnovers, we didn't see any of those moments where he separated himself from being a game manager into a playmaker at the position. We just didn't get that. Then you had the issue with the red zone, right? This is where the Saints struggle at the most, especially with Spencer Rattler at quarterback. He did overthrow Chris Olave on third down, and then they had to settle for a field goal. Those are the plays that decide games. It's one thing to move the ball between the 20s, but when you're inside the red zone, you got to capitalize. I know Juwan Johnson had his issue yesterday dropping that pass, but there were other chances where the Saints were inside the red zone and couldn't put up 7 on the board. Well, 6 on the board. Because that's where these young quarterbacks earn their stripes. And right now, Rattler hasn't shown he can finish drives with touchdowns. This isn't nothing new. It's a carryover from the preseason where He looks steady, but not explosive. So you look at the NFC South, right? Baker Mayfield, Bryce Young, they're solid quarterbacks. Right now, Baker Mayfield is the better one. Better is the best quarterback in the division. Everybody else is Baker Mayfield, and then everybody else. Michael Penix not there yet. Um, Bryce Young, he's not there yet. And we all know that our quarterback, Saints quarterback situation, it's not there yet as well. You know, because going forward, this means that the roster's not terrible. I mean, I know you just lost Junior Blackman for the remainder of the season, but the roster is not terrible, man. Once you get past the first unit, is fine. It's just the players after that first unit. They got Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Jawan Johnson. All players are legitimate weapons, but the depth is thin. This is the thinnest this team has looked in years. Last year they were pretty thin, and the offensive line is still shaky. You know, Fawanga is day to day now. You know, so and then Trevor Penning is still not back yet. So when Moore designs a game plan, he's got to balance protecting his quarterback with maximizing those playmakers. That means leaning on the run game, using tempo strategically, and making sure Rattler isn't throwing close to 50 times again. Because if this becomes the norm, the Saints could burn him out before he even has a chance to grow. And who's to say that it's going to get better with Tyler Shuck? Because that might be the same game plan, you know? So, close it out. Is Spencer Rattler being set up to fail after week one? I wouldn't go that far with this article written by Lee Ali Alisack. I don't know. Lee Alisack. But I'll say this though. The Saints are all walking a fine line. Rattler showed poise, he avoided the big mistakes, and gave the team a chance. But asking him to throw 46 times against a confusing Cardinals defense led by Buda Baker, Will Johnson, Calais Campbell, Josh Sweat is not sustainable. Kellen Moore needs to adjust. He's got to find out a way to blend Kamara and Kendrick Miller, Devin Neal into the game plan so defenses can stay honest. He's got to build Rattler's confidence in the red zone. And most importantly, he's got to protect his quarterback from being forced into situations he's not ready for. It's only one game, right? And the Saints have 16 more of these to figure it out. But if they keep leaning on Rattler like this, the question goes, the question from Who That Dish, the question posed from this website, from this story, might end up being true. Are the Saints, is Kellen Moore setting up Spencer Rattler to fail? Now, to me, Alvin Kamara didn't touch the ball enough. Alvin Kamara didn't touch the ball enough. If you're gonna throw that ball, if you're gonna throw the football, if you're gonna have Spencer Rattler back there dropping back 40 to 50 times back there, Alvin Kamara needs to touch the ball. He needs to touch the ball. It's just that simple. That player like that has shown that he can make things happen coming out of the backfield as a wide receiver. He needs to touch the football. You know, if you feel as though the running game is not getting it done, deploy Alvin Kamara as a wide receiver. Put him in the slot. Be creative with it. You know what I mean? But Kellen Moore's not doing that right as of this time. So we'll see. So that's my reaction to week one. My reaction to this article that was put out, and a lot of other people feel this way. Feel this way too. People feel as though the whole timeout, the debacle yesterday before halftime, was because they felt as though Kellen Moore don't trust the offense. Kellen Moore don't trust the defense. He don't trust Spencer Rattler to go out there and get it done. That's what that was about. I mean, I view it as Kellen Moore not being used to being in charge of the entire operation as a head coach. First year, I'm gonna give him some grace, but fans are going to take so much, man. Even though this team is rebuilding, the fan base is only going to take so much. And if you pull stunts like that, and then follow it up by giving a weird response, they're going to be upset. And then he's going to get the Dennis Allen treatment. Because if Dennis Allen was still the coach of this team and he did that, he would have got crushed. Plain and simple. So I'm giving him grace. Yeah, he has time to get things right. You know, stuff like not calling timeouts. That's like high school coaches know that. Know you have to do that. Have to manage the clock. You know. So that's my reaction to week one. Lost to the Cardinals. Is Spencer Rattler being set up to fail? What do y'all think in the comment section below? Was it just a one-off game plan issue? Or do you see this becoming a bigger problem all season long? Let me know how you feel. I'm out.